a look at those stories in depth in a while. We'll also be joining quite a number of our reporters who are out in the field, including in Bungoma and Busia, where Stephen Leto and Sam Ugina are respectively, of course, looking at a day before the ODM nominations kick off in those two counties. Now, with the Jubilee Party primaries slated for 21st of this month, candidates are busy putting final touches to their campaigns ahead of the make-or-break date. Now, in Kiambu County, the top candidates in the race for governor, that is incumbent William Kabogo and Kabete MP Ferdinand Waititu, will both be launching their bids at separate events this Saturday. Now, this is one of the hotly contested races in one of the regions considered a Jubilee stronghold, and the events come only days after President Kenyatta toured the county. Now, this morning in studio, we're privileged to have Governor of Kiambu County, William Kabogo. Karibu sana.
Asante Fred, it's a pleasure.
Yes, you're launching your bid for re-election officially this
we're
Saturday?
doing prayers, launch, and thanking God for the time that we have had. I mean, it's been a busy 3.5 years, and we are hoping that our mandate will be renewed by the people of Kiambu.
Is it simply coincidence, or was it planned that both you and your rival Ferdinand Waititu do something similar?
I am not aware of what they have planned, but this is something we planned about a fortnight ago. Of course, it's running up to the finals, which will be on the 21st on Friday. So really, we're all free to do what it is.
Now, politically, I know you may not be aware. You may not even want to be seen to be aware of what is doing. But as a governor, of course, you have to be aware of such an event.
I have heard people say, just like you're saying, that it's on the same date. I'm not sure what it is they want to do, but I hope that whatever it is that they do will be peaceful. I have pledged myself to keep peace, and elections come and go every 5 years.
Yes.
And Kenya stays on.
Yes.
I mean, those who are in 1963 are not in today. Many years to come, we will not be the ones that will be there.
Yes.
But Kenya will always be there.
Yes. In terms of security and logistical arrangements, Kiambu, yes, is big, but venues where you can hold such an event, of course, between the two of you, if at all both of you had hold such similar events on the same day, that presents some.
It will not be at the same venue, definitely.
For example, where
we're doing our thing at Thika Stadium. We booked and paid. I paid for the stadium, although it's a county government thing. I paid for it personally. And we'll be there from 10 o'clock in the morning to about 6:15. So at that point in time, I don't think anybody else will have any function within Thika. Otherwise, then you will have supporters of different parties clashing, and this really is not necessary. So it's important that we, within the security apparatus in the county, to make sure that we keep peace. Yes. And also my counterparts on the other side should also pledge.
So the governor, of course.
So far, Kiambu has been really quiet.
Yes. You must be aware of where he intends to hold his.
I am not aware. Here there is a Mogithi. Mogithi is one of these things they do in trucks. So I may not know exactly.
They could be moving around.
Yes, they could be moving around.
So there's a possibility that...
And I wish them well.
There's a possibility that your two teams could meet at some point?
No, there's no chance, because I hear they're on the upper side of Githunguri and we're in Thika.
Okay, so, the president was in your county on Wednesday on a whistle-stop tour, and he made quite some pronouncements. But how was it? Because I do understand quite all the aspirants, you included, were there. Did you get to speak at any of those?
No, none at all. This tour of late, the president has had a tour throughout Central Kenya, or the former Central Kenya, and I have not seen anywhere any aspirant or any incumbent has had a chance to speak. And I guess that's one of those things that he doesn't want to show support for any of the candidates. And he has said all are his friends. But right now it's not about friends. It's about the electorate. They are the ones that will choose their leaders. And after that, he can have a cup of tea with any of his friends.
Okay. But now, the president's choice of Kiambu County as one of the places he decides to tour just before the party primaries is also very telling.
It's not telling. It's not suspect. What happened is he had a tour a couple of weeks ago, and he did not complete that tour. So he came to do the final leg about 3 weeks ago. Again, he didn't complete that tour. So this final leg was Kiamba, Wangige, that is in Kabete, and Kikuyu, and finally in Dagoretti, which is shared between Nairobi and Kiambu. It was just completion of that tour.
And it has
nothing
completely to do with
nothing
the heated race for Kiambu government.
He has said he wants the people to elect.
Yes.
And you know the Constitution gives us 5 years to elect, not to appoint. And I'm happy that they have emphasized that it is Wanjiku that will vote and not any individual.
Yes.
And in any event, if the system wants someone to be in parliament, the only option is not through election. You can also have people nominated.
Yes.
So in the event that leadership wants a particular person, they made it very clear that it is not through elections.
Yes. And even parties.
And of course, if we have free and fair nominations that are successful, this would make our party a very strong party.
Yes.
In the future, you would not need to worry. Right now, there are jitters, but you know how free and fair will the primaries be. But I can assure you, the president and the deputy have expressed themselves to the fact that this election is going to be free and fair.
Has there been any attempt to try and have you and your main rival Ferdinand Waititu meet or agree on anything?
The only attempt that I remember was when, of course, the fourth estate, Jeff Koinange, invited us for a show, and they didn't show up.
But the Jubilee Party leadership hasn't tried anything like
well, they said they want peaceful nominations, they want peace, and of course we've got warnings. As a party, it has warned all candidates in the country that in the event of say trouble in any of the Jubilee strongholds, those candidates that will be found to have caused the trouble will be barred from going for elections.
Yes. Now,
so that is serious and punitive punishment for chaos.
Yes.
So really, anyone who is advocating chaos must think twice.
Yes. Now, last week we saw ODM party hand out quite a number of direct tickets to quite a number of governors, 8 of them in total, including Nairobi Governor Evans Kidero, your neighboring county. And I was just thinking, is it something that governors in general would have loved? Because since you're only running for 2 terms, that a direct ticket would have worked, really.
That to me is not democratic. That is now selection. And the Constitution talks about election. So I'm not sure how ODM, but of course there are many reasons that would be it would be because of several reasons that probably he has done so. But one of the most suspect reasons would be funding. Probably those are well pocketed governors. They will be able to finance the presidential elections of ODM. But really, it is not the people of ODM. It is not the party electorate that have elected these guys. So I'm not sure how Raila operates, because really that's that's to me is not democracy.
It's not democracy. Let's come back.
I would hate Jubilee to attempt to even give me a ticket. I want to fight for it. I want to go to Wanjiku and tell Wanjiku, it is you who is going to appoint me. It's you who is going to elect me. Not the Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta or the Honorable Deputy President. It is an election. Let's come back to Jubilee, and the party primaries are slated for 21st. One single day, more than 8,000 aspirants across the country. In Kiambu alone, just for the senator's seat, 8 different candidates running for 1 seat, governors 2 of them. Are you confident that all this can be handled properly and conclusively in a single day, instead of staggering it the way if we can handle the national elections of 6 separate seats, that is from MCA to president, in 1 single day, why won't we manage to do that?
But that is IBC. IBC was to
we are as prepared. We are as prepared. Jubilee is an organized party, and I'm sure that as you will see on the 22nd, we will have finished with the primaries and head towards the 8th. And those who miss out, they should still stay in the party and support the president, because we need Jubilee to take.
But of course there will be some complaints.
If they are, they should be looked at in the normal party procedure. That is, the tribunal will be able to look at all these things. Now, by and large, the will of the people should be respected.
Now, Governor, what had happened when Jubilee was quite a number of parties dissolved and merged into Jubilee, the promise was that the party primaries, 1, will be conducted by IEBC,
yes,
and that 2, only members of Jubilee Party will take part in the party primaries. Yes. That is through the smart card. That is a card that will be used to identify the members.
Yes.
Now, those two things...
That was the wish of the party.
Those two things are no longer there.
Yes.
Now, are you still confident that without those two items...
I'll tell you, for one, not everything that you plan comes your way. Not everything that you plan happens. It was a goodwill of the party leadership to want to have a very transparent, free and fair nomination through IEBC. But our competitors on the other side start saying, we will not participate in an election where the referee is involved in the primaries of our counterparts. And really that is a good reason to tell IEBC to keep off. So that was out of the way, not because of the will of the Jubilee leadership, it's because of the greater good of making IEBC look non-partisan. Then we come to cards. The time that we had to be able to distribute and sell cards and the idea to Wanjiko was not sufficient to cover that time between then and the 21st, because we knew the nominations would be in between the 16th and the 24th. So again, will it be free and fair if everyone doesn't have a chance to participate? Only those that have digital cards. So really what the party has done its recruitment. We have a lot of membership. In terms of Kiambu, I think 99% is Jubilee. So Jubilee has a register which we have already lodged with the IEBC, and it is that register that we will be using. But it will be through your identification card.
Yes. Probably Kiambu is much better because a lot of close to 100% of the population is Jubilee.
About 97.
And 97%.
2.5%.
So it will be more or less like a universal suffrage. Everyone will take part in the nominations.
We hope so. Okay. But you know, normally turnout in primaries is about 40% in the past, and we are hoping that this time probably we'll cross the 50% mark. Okay,
let's now talk about polling. And there's a polling that was released by TIFA Research in February with regard to the governor's race in Kiambu. Incidentally, today also we do understand another survey is being released, results for another survey. So this might change by a different organization. But this one puts you at 46% ahead of your main rival, Ferdinand Wetitu, at 33%. A very huge percentage of undecided voters at 16%. Then the other candidates, Nginyo Karioki, James Nyoro, Engineer Kuru Kanyingi, who come after that. We do understand that quite a lot has changed, that some of these candidates have grouped and they are now supporting
really nothing has changed.
Do you think this polling
if anything is to go by, if to take TIFA as a true position, TIFA did polls in August last year and they gave me 22%. And gave Ferdinand 49%. And then I realized, wow, I could be losing out. And I was very busy working. I had no politics in my mind for the first, second, and part of the third year. So I realized probably the citizen needs to see me, needs to feel me. So I'm out there and I'm giving out all the things that we have done. And many people are like, wow, Kenya didn't know Kiambu has done all these things. So all of a sudden, I am out there in the field. So from August last year, we've moved from 22 that we were given then to 46, and they've given him 33. But you will find now he doesn't want to admit that this is real. But it was very good then. Yes. It was real, but it is not real now. Now I'm surprised that you're telling me there'll be a new poll today. If the trend between August and now is anything to go by, I do not expect anything less than 50% for myself. But this huge bid for undecided 16%, probably it was informed by the number of candidates, the huge number of candidates that were in the race back then. We do understand the dynamics have changed a bit, that some of these people have pulled out of the race, and they've all thrown their weight behind Ferdinand Wetitu. Do you expect I will tell you one thing. I will tell you one thing. This is different from what you hear. ODM candidate has done this in Kisumu and they've thrown their weight on an ODM guy. This is a Jubilee zone. If statistics is nothing to go by, I would imagine that 19% will be shared in the same ratio of the greater majority that have said 46% is.
But now all these others will add up.
I would wish you invite me again after the poll that you're talking about. Is it by the same company?
No, it's a different research
I would
company.
expect that it to reflect basically more or less the same trend. If what is happening on the ground today is anything to go by, I will clinch it early in the morning.
And what does it say about your candidature when all these other candidates decide to gang up against you?
It is because there's nothing new in them. It's just like the national NASA. These guys have no agenda. They just want to, you know,
Governor,
get Kabago out.
You've really changed that.
They just want Kabago out.
Yes.
Yeah, and their agenda is to remove Kabago. They've ganged up. They want power. They want to share seats. One wants governor, deputy governor, chief minister, something that doesn't exist. Minister for lands. They're already sharing positions.
Yes.
Mine is not to share positions. Mine is to make Kiambu a better place to live, work and grow.
Are you still hoping to be on the same ticket with your current deputy governor, or will that change?
Well, if it's working, why change? Yes.
So it is working?
If it's working, yes, fix it. Why fix it?
So the ticket might be the same?
It might be the same.
Okay.
Yes. But also that is something one needs to keep close to the heart and say, it's a card you need to play.
Because it could change?
Yeah, I do not expect, but you never know.
Well, Governor Kiambu,
I still have the final say.
Asante sana, Bwana William Kabogo, Governor Kiambu County. All the best as you launch your bid tomorrow. And of course, we do hope that after this latest polling that could be released today by another research firm, that we will...
A genuine research firm.
It is a genuine research firm that will invite you back and discuss that further.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Asante. Of course, we will be discussing more about Kiambu politics with other guests here in studio. But first, let's take a different piece of news. Now, Jemima Sumgong, the first Kenyan